Hello everyone, I have something to share with you. Are you ready? A story, a song, an activity. Grab a book, sing along, and explore with me. It's time to come together to do what we enjoy. So come on in the room, it's First Friday. Hello and welcome to the Crystal Stairs Resource Library Learning Activity. My name is Tandra and we read The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. So we want to acknowledge that this is the first time in over a year for quite a few children to be returning to campus full time. So we wanted to give you some tips for how to support that transition. So one of the things you can do is very simple. Talk to children. Talk to them about their feelings. Talk to them about what they may be excited about, if they're nervous about anything, or if they're anxious about anything. It's as simple as a conversation. If you have some supportive materials in your facility that you can use to help springboard the conversation, that's even better. What are you happy about, excited about? What are you looking forward to? What are you possibly nervous about when going back to school? What are you anxious about? So providing an opportunity and a space for children to share those feelings. So another thing you can do is to watch our First Friday story reading. We read The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. And in the story, it talks about Chester the raccoon's transition to school. He had some very big feelings about returning, but in the story, Mother Raccoon shares something very special with him. So you can springboard that conversation using, if you have props or puppets, allow the children to create their own retelling of that story, to use the puppets to share how they may be feeling. If you have a storytelling kit, you can use it to retell the story or allow the children to tell the story in a different way. This is the storytelling kit from The Kissing Hand. It talks about how Chester was feeling, his mom reassuring him, opening his hand, placing her kiss there and wrapping his tiny fingers around it, and it sending love and warmth into his heart. So just make sure that you're listening and honoring the feelings that are coming up for you and the children, and find ways to encourage that communication. So one final idea is to allow children to draw their own photos, their own stories. So they can draw or illustrate their own pictures, and they can write their story. So just provide some paper, some crayons or other drawing materials, and a marker or a pen for writing. If children are at the age where they're not able to write, you can actually have them dictate the story to you, and you can write it in for them to support their emotional literacy. So one thing to keep in mind when allowing children to illustrate and dictate their stories is to keep it open-ended. Let their story be their story. If they want to draw and write it all on one sheet, that's fine. Or if they want multiple pages, support their decision. So it can look something like this, a simple photo drawn. It says, "This is my abuelito's house. When I am there with him, I feel safe and loved and happy." This one here is called Father's Red Car. That was the title he wanted it to have. And when I asked, he said, "Father's red car goes fast and takes us to lots of fun places." So keep in mind, children will have all different types of feelings during this time, and that's okay. Thank you for joining us today. We read The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. We talked about how to support children's emotional literacy and validating their feelings for going back to school. We thank you for joining us. We hope you have a safe return back to school, and we want to see you here again on the next First Friday. Bye-bye.